Money runs the modern world, but it wasn't always coins, paper, or digital numbers on a screen. At the beginning, people traded seashells, grain, cattle, even giant stone wheels. So how did humanity invent money? And how did it evolve into the financial systems we rely on today? This is the origin of money. Before money existed, people survived through barter, exchanging one item for another. A farmer traded wheat for a pot, a shepherd traded wool for tools, and a fisherman traded his catch for anything he needed that day. But barter had a major flaw. Your trade only worked if both sides wanted exactly what the other had. If you had wheat and needed shoes, but the shoemaker didn't need wheat, the trade failed. Economists call this the double coincidence of wants, and it made exchanging goods slow, inefficient, and unreliable. As communities grew and trade expanded, barter simply couldn't keep up. Humanity needed something better, a universal tool that everyone agreed had value. As barter became too slow and unreliable, early civilizations searched for something more practical. They needed items that everyone agreed were valuable, no matter who you were trading with. The result was the world's first true form of money, commodity money. These weren't coins or bills, but everyday goods that held value on their own. Different cultures chose what worked best for them. In Mesopotamia, wealth was measured in cattle. In ancient Egypt, people used grain stored in royal granaries. In China, blocks of compressed tea acted as currency. In Rome and across Africa, salt was so valuable it was called white gold. And across Asia and the Indian Ocean, cowrie shells became one of the most widely traded forms of money in history. These early currencies were chosen for simple reasons. They were useful, they were widely desired, and they lasted over time. Commodity money allowed people to trade more efficiently, but it still had limits. Some items spoiled, some were bulky, and others were hard to divide. So the search continued for something even better. With trade routes stretching across continents, early merchants needed a better kind of currency, something stronger than grain, more portable than livestock, and more reliable than shells. Metal became the answer. Gold and silver shimmered with rarity and beauty. Copper offered strength and usefulness. Metal could be melted, shaped, divided, and stored for centuries without losing quality. But even this innovation had problems. A gold lump had to be weighed each time it changed hands. A silver bar could be pure or secretly mixed with cheaper metals. Fraud was common. Trust was fragile. Civilization was close to unlocking the next evolution of money, a system where value could be recognized instantly without weighing or testing. The next evolution of money arrived with a simple but powerful idea. What if every piece of gold or silver came with a guarantee? In the ancient kingdom of Lydia, rulers began shaping metal into uniform discs and stamping them with a royal seal. That seal changed everything. It told merchants the metal was the right weight. It proved it was pure. It meant the king himself stood behind its value. Trust became instant. Soon, coins spread across continents, carried on trade routes, exchanged in markets, and used to pay soldiers and taxes. A small piece of metal now represented the power of entire civilizations. Coins helped empires grow, but they were heavy. Merchants traveling long distances needed chests full of metal just to do business. Bandits knew it, and trade was dangerous. China found a solution. Merchants began leaving their coins with shopkeepers and taking paper vouchers instead. These slips of paper represented real metal stored safely elsewhere. It didn't take long before people realized something remarkable. They could trade the paper itself without ever touching the coins. Soon, the Chinese government stepped in, printing the world's first official paper money, light, portable, secure. Paper currency reshaped economies and paved the way for global trade. With paper currency in circulation, societies faced new questions. Where do you keep your money safe? How do you send wealth across long distances without risking it? Banks emerged to answer. Both merchants deposited their earnings in stone vaults and received written proof of their wealth. These documents began moving from hand to hand, functioning like currency. Then came the game changer, credit. For the first time, a person could invest, build, or trade using money they didn't physically have. Loans built ships, funded explorers, and helped empires rise. The idea of money expanded again, from coins and paper to promises and trust.